Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Patrick Nuernberger. I work as a physician in Austria, and on my social media channels I teach about medicine and medical stuff. Today I want to talk a little about the coronavirus crisis. Now in the year of 2021, we are already over 1 year in this crisis within the virus. We know a lot about it, but what has changed, what has happened, we're going to find out. So first of all, let's talk about the vaccinations. Yes, we have a lot of vaccinations out there already, and here where I live in Austria, the European Union, we have some vaccines that are accepted, 3 at this time. So there's more to come, but in other countries we see others as well. So there's a lot of vaccines outside on the market in the world. So it is very interesting to see how things change. There's some countries that have already vaccinated a huge part of their population. One of those countries being Israel. Israel having vaccinated the majority of its population, leading to some benefits for those who have been either vaccinated or who had the disease COVID-19. So there's some sort of a green pass where this pass shows that you're either vaccinated or you have had the disease, so which means that you could be immune, or at least we suppose you're immune. And those people who have this green pass, they can live sort of a normal life again. So they can go to their gym if they show their green pass. They can go to the cinema, they can go to concerts. Well, that is great on the one hand because it sort of brings us back to normality. On the other hand, we have to say discussions about implementing a green pass in our countries as well. Now meaning the country where I live in Austria, or as well in Germany, Switzerland, or France, England, whatever. It is, I would say, difficult at this point in time. And why is that? The reason simply being that in our countries, not as many people are vaccinated and not as many people have access to the vaccine, and that's the point. It's not like 80-90% of the people do not want to be vaccinated against COVID-19. That's not the case. The case is that most people, they simply don't have access because we don't have any vaccines in our countries right now. There's a huge shortage on the market, and it's going to take some more months until, not the majority, but at least some more people will be vaccinated here. So that is a problem, and I do see a problem in a population that does not have this huge access to vaccines, compared to Israel, for example, and giving people who are vaccinated already some sort of benefit. Because this is going to be, in the first few phases, older people and people from people in medicine, people from hospitals. So me being vaccinated, I wouldn't have anything against it if I got a green pass and would be able to go to the gym again, which I would love to. But out of fairness to everyone out there and to my community, I wouldn't say that at this point of time it would make much sense to develop a green pass for only 2, 3, or let it say in 1 month, maybe 5% of the population who is already vaccinated, give or take a few percent already again that had the disease within the past few months. So I do believe that this will not be widely accepted, and there's a lot of criticism about it, and I do understand it, and it does make sense to me as well. Even though I do kind of like the idea of a green pass, and I think we should develop some sort of a green pass in the future. As I said, in this period of time where only a few percent of the population are vaccinated, I do not think that it makes a lot of sense. It wouldn't be that fair, and people would be rather unhappy with it, I guess. And since only a few percent are vaccinated, the majority of people is going to be unhappy. So that's probably not a good thing. So either keep it closed for everybody or open it for everybody. I'm not going to discuss it now, but those are the options, I think. A green pass at this point of time, as in Austria is being discussed right now, is probably not the best thing, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you think? Just let me know in the comments. I would be interested to see. And so that is one of the things I wanted to talk about in this video, being the green pass. On the other hand, I wanted to make sure, and of course I'm not a financial expert and I'm not a financial advisor, not so at all, but there's huge opportunities right now in the stock markets and in the crypto markets. So I'm personally very interested, and I got involved with the topics of finance and financial education some years ago, and I read for years before I bought my first stock, and I would also advise you to do that, so I wouldn't go out there and buy whatever stock, being Tesla, Amazon, or just buying some cryptos. I would not do that. That's highly dangerous. So only do buy things that you understand, that you trust, and the message I want to give is educate yourself financially. That's my main point. So things are going to change in the future again, and the corona crisis will, I guess, make it a little faster. So if you have financial education and financial understanding, I think you can profit from that. It's not necessarily becoming rich and not having to work. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about saving some money and having some money aside, and financial education is going to help you achieve that. So if you have never had financial education, and most of us people don't, because we don't learn that at school, and if you don't go to university and study something about finance, you will never learn about it. That was amazing. I found that out in my late 20s, mid-late 20s, and I was amazed about how less I know about finance and money and the financial system. So I bought books, I watched videos. There's a lot of great channels out here on YouTube. Check them out. I'm not gonna suggest some, but if you search for them, you will find some. There's good books out there. So go get your education, because I see a lot of people not being educated at all when it comes to finance and money, and those people lose money and they make very bad financial decisions. And I don't think that is good, and I want to prevent you from that if that's possible. Of course, there's a lot of work to do. You gotta study about that, you gotta learn about it, but it will pay off in the end. You will probably not end up in debt or not being able to pay for something. So it is worth the time, I think, personally. And in the situation being now, I do make financial decisions differently than I would have done like 5 or 10 years ago. So that does make a lot of sense. And especially now in those times of the crisis where a lot of things are changing and the gap between poor and rich is going to be even bigger, and that is supposed to happen. It does make sense to at least educate yourself about money and how to do everything. It's, as I said, I'm not a financial advisor and I want to keep it there, but just as a nice heads up, do get your knowledge about money and finance. That's important. Another thing, so we talked about the vaccines, about the green pass and the money situation. It is interesting to see how it will develop in our society, and I think that hopefully we will be back soon to some sort of normality and a normal reality that we had pre-COVID. I'm not sure when this will happen. I'm not sure how long the crisis will be there. I'm not sure how long coronavirus will be around. I mean, it will probably be around forever. We're not going to beat it completely. But for how long it will make problems like that. And we can only fight this when we have a lot of the people around the world being vaccinated. And it's going to take time. That's going to take a lot of time. Another important thing is that we need to vaccinate the people in the poor countries and the people in the slums and the people who live, I don't know, somewhere out there in the jungle probably and only having few contacts to civilization. Because in those pools, it is very likely to have mutations. And that's what we have already seen before. And that's what we're going to see in the future. So countries should have a high interest in vaccinating everybody, also people who are far from our normal society and probably also out of the social structures and out of the social system. Because if not, those will be the clusters of new mutations in the future. And I hope that people recognize that and that it will act properly. I'm not sure, but I strongly hope so. And now you already know about this problem. I think you probably would not have thought about that, but that's a real issue. So it is important to deal with those who do not want to be vaccinated, to give them information and to tell them that it is a good thing, and also to make them feel less anxious or fearful of whatever is the problem here. Also, there's a lot of fake news out there and we need to deal with that in some sort of case. We also saw that fake news and also probably misleading information has high impact on people being willing to be vaccinated. We saw that in the AstraZeneca vaccine, which is a good vaccine, but people just did not like it because of misleading information that was out there in the media. So we need to be very careful about that. If you watch through the video, I'm sure that you're interested in the topic, and I'm very happy that you are and that you accumulate knowledge, and you will probably be able to tell your friends, your family about real facts and not fake news and fake facts from the media. So keep on doing that, because that is a little part, but all the little parts, they act together and they make a big difference. If you like this video, if you like my other videos, please leave a like, leave a comment, tell me how you liked it. And this helps me with my channel. Also check out my other channels on Instagram or TikTok, where I also spread my medical knowledge anytime I can. And I hope to see you soon here on my channel or on my other channels. And until the next video, stay healthy.